Brodes Media.
I have no idea what to say. I have no idea what emotions are rolling through my veins right now, but that was incredible. Holy hell. The last thing I just heard before we popped onto the stream and started the show was Alec Bohm, so I guess that's where I have to begin. And I thought he handled the situation perfectly. I'm sure everybody saw online on Twitter there was a close-up of his face after he made a couple errors, and he was getting booed heavily. So his response was looking at Didi Gregorius, saying the words, "I hate this fucking place." And there were some possibilities, right? It could have been, "I hate this fucking place." It could have been, "Let's fucking end this." It could have been, "I hate these fucking plays," which doesn't make much sense considering these plays were very routine that he was screwing up, overthinking, and it all stems from the number one problem, which was throwing the ball to begin with the first error where he charges the ball after it hits Ranger Suarez's glove. He's basically falling over, and he throws it into the dirt 7,000 feet to the right of Rhys Hoskins. It made no sense whatsoever, and the Mets had some life. Brutal decision. But I do love the fact that afterwards, he stood right there in his locker. He was asked about it. He said, "I said it. I said it. I didn't mean it. I was frustrated. I was emotional. I said it. I don't mean it." And I actually give him a ton of credit, and I give him a round of applause for taking it down that path. And I think there's no better way he could have managed that scenario that he put himself in other than that. Now, at the plate, he was great. He gets on base every single time. He earned a major walk in the 8th inning, which started the big power comeback that the Phillies exploded to win the damn baseball game. And he had an awesome double. The problem is, realistically, I am very, very proud of the way that he took what happened not to the plate. Like, he didn't have that affect his style at the dish. He was standing in the batter's box as if none of that occurred. That is not easy to do, especially as a young player. We can't hide from the fact, though, that what he did was awful. What he's doing in the field is unplayable. And that's a problem because what he's doing at the plate is extremely valuable, and it's very important, and it's huge, and it only adds depth to what this lineup could be. And it's hard to really judge what Ranger Suarez did today. He wasn't his sharpest, that's for damn sure. He would have been out of that inning, though. Double play ball, no runs would have been scored. So it's really hard for me to focus on Ranger Suarez and come up with a conclusion on how I feel totally. I've seen him look more dynamite, but once again, when that's what's behind you, it's difficult. Knowing, though, that traditionally Ranger Suarez can get some right-handed hitters to ground out, it's hard to think, let's put our worst third baseman over there at that time because it doesn't really add up. Regardless, though, here we are. That was a major win. The Mets will Met. That's always the topic of conversation when you see their faces. I watched Dominic Smith strike out against Brad Hand in the 9th inning, and the look on his face was basically, "Oh, damn, what just happened? How did that evaporate? This is bonkers." Yeah, you're damn right. They had some issues, though, with some bullpen pieces in May, who ended up having to leave the game. Well, the starter, too, Walker, who ended up having to leave the game. I'm not going to act as if that wasn't an impact, but the Phillies were dead. They were dead. There was no juice in the building. There was no energy whatsoever. And then all of a sudden, here comes that 8th inning. Started by Alec Bohm with the walk. Camargo with a nice how-do-you-do bloop in right field. Schwarber with the RBI that beats a double play, so he's on first base hustling. JT with the bomb makes it a 1-run game. Castellanos with the walk. I cannot believe I saw Nick Castellanos run that damn hard from Rhys Hoskins' double. The way he was moving, here's Dusty at third base telling him to go, moving his damn arms as fast as possible. There he is. He's hustling to home plate. I got nervous for about half a second, but once you saw the ball die out in left field, you thought there's a chance. Oh, hell yeah, there's a real opportunity. The ball gets thrown home. Nick Castellanos slide. The tie game is in effect. And, of course, Didi Gregorius. But a key piece to the success today happens to go by the name of Nick Nelson. This guy, what a beautiful man. What a man. He goes out there and gives you 4. So you see that his velocity was wild in the beginning. 98, that is. Wild just meaning fast, dynamic, dynamite, beautiful. And then by the end, he was down by the lower 90s, 92, 93. You could tell he was out of gas. But after he ended up leaving, you get yourself a little Sir Anthony Dominguez action. You get yourself some Brad Hand action. Look at your bullpen, keeping it within range. If your pitching can keep you involved in the game, this offense at any point could take over. You just need one inning. Everyone's mad. Kyle Schwarber striking out a handful of times. Bryce Harper's going to turn it around, all right? We all saw his elbow situation when he tried to gun out at home plate, and he started rubbing his elbow, and he squatted a bit. They showed it on the broadcast. Stayed in the game, though. Ended up striking out. Stayed in the game, though. I'm just curious how they're going to play this moving forward. I'm sure they're going to really dissect it, make sure that they stay as precautionary as possible. Just go through the right protocols instead of forcing some things. Like I just mentioned, a lot of games in April. But I'll tell you what, there was like no life. It got a little bit worrisome. The offense dating back to the last game in the A series. You look at all the innings, not much production. Grounding into a double play. So you just kind of lost it a little bit. But that's the difference in where this team is this year. At any point, with a blink of an eye, they can just turn it on and do lethal damage all around. I'm pretty bummed that Stott didn't play today. I am. But I think that this Alec Bohm thing tells a big story. I think that's important to what this team is going to be about. And what just happened today, that's like a bonding thing. What he stated after the game almost made me feel like, and we saw that Didi, Rhys Hoskins, they were speaking to him, right? They went to him at the mound during a pitching change. They patted him on the chest and said, let's go. And Bohm acknowledged it. All right. The way he stood in front of his locker, though, it just smelled like Bryce Harper, didn't it? It smelled like Kyle Schwarber. It smelled like veteran presence to the growth of a young kid that's going through some serious growing pains, and he's in some real issues right now in his head, mentally. You could tell. He gathers the ball. He's double clutching. He's overthinking. He's throwing. The mechanics are all over the place. Rhys Hoskins has to get off the bag. He's trying to make a swipe tag. They run through first base. You're safe. You review it. Now the Mets have a guy on first. All that. The way they say, yup, I said, it just smelled like professionalism, and that is all about leadership.